You might be wondering how social exclusion is different from poverty and why questions on this topic keep appearing in UPSC papers, especially when you read long policy reports and get confused about what to write. By the end of this video, you will be completely clear about this topic. Have you ever noticed that someone can have money but still be shut out of neighborhoods, jobs, or public services? That feeling of being kept out is the essence of social exclusion, and in this session, we will learn its origins, key features, how it hurts mental health, policy responses, and effective examples for answer writing. And towards the end, we will understand a key idea that most UPSC aspirants miss. The term began in the 1970s with René Lenoir and gained ground in European policy debates, turning into concrete action in the UK after 1997 with the Social Exclusion Unit and into international rights-focused thinking through agencies like the United Nations Development Programme. So historically, it grew from describing who welfare systems left invisible to shaping broad social policy. At its simplest, social exclusion means being blocked from rights, resources, and meaningful participation in society. Not only lacking income, but being denied access to housing, education, healthcare, civic rights, and the social networks that make citizenship real. Think of exclusion as several doors being closed at once. Economic doors like jobs and income, social doors like networks and recognition, political doors like voice and legal protection, and cultural doors like dignity and belonging. And those closed doors often reinforce each other. Unlike poverty, which measures material shortfall, social exclusion is relational and multidimensional. A person may have money and still be excluded from decision making, from social acceptance, or from everyday institutions. Examples include some sexual minorities, people with disabilities, and older people who face isolation despite income support. Social exclusion and mental health feed each other in a vicious cycle. Exclusion increases stress, stigma, and loneliness, which can worsen mental illness, and mental health problems in turn reduce access to work, social networks, and services, deepening marginalization unless integrated support is provided. Paid work is more than wages. It gives routine, social contacts, and identity. So long-term unemployment strips income and daily structure and becomes a major route to exclusion, which is why many policies focus on activation, skill training, and employer incentives to promote inclusion. Different discourses explain exclusion in different ways. Some blame individual or family behavior, others stress labor market integration, and redistributionists point to structural inequality. And for UPSC answers, it is useful to show how these explanations complement each other rather than present a single cause. Exclusion operates at multiple levels. Individuals, such as single parents or people with disabilities, whole communities like Dalits or indigenous peoples who face historical dispossession, and structural forces such as globalization or digital divides that create new forms of marginalization across regions and generations. Policy responses must therefore be multidimensional. Rights-based frameworks to protect legal equality, welfare safety nets to reduce immediate deprivation, labor market measures to improve employability and inclusion, anti-discrimination laws, and targeted affirmative action like reservations where historical injustice persists. Measurement matters. Composite and multidimensional indices that combine health, education, and living standards reveal overlapping deprivations better than income alone. And precise measurement guides better policy design and targeting. So always mention measurement when evaluating programs in your answers. This concept is very important for your exams because questions often ask you to compare poverty and social exclusion, to evaluate policy interventions like reservations or welfare schemes, and to suggest multi-sectoral solutions with Indian examples and international frameworks. Tip for UPSC mains. Link theory and policy to Indian contexts such as caste-based exclusion of Dalits and Adivasis, affirmative action outcomes, the role of digital exclusion in education, and the mental health impact of social marginalization. Concrete examples strengthen your arguments and enrich case studies. To recap simply, social exclusion is a process that denies people rights, opportunities, and participation. It is broader than poverty, shaped by history, institutions, and everyday behavior, and it damages economic outcomes, health, and democratic participation unless tackled through integrated policies. And as promised, the single key idea many aspirants miss is that how you measure exclusion determines what policy you design. If measurement focuses only on income, you will end up with income-focused solutions. But multidimensional measurement forces integrated policy responses. Keep practicing by writing brief answers that define exclusion, contrast it with poverty, give Indian and international examples, evaluate policy responses, and suggest integrated solutions. And you will convert confusion into clarity and score better in the GS papers. If you want structured notes, quizzes, and model answers tailored for UPSC on social exclusion, continue learning with EduRev, where you will find concise concept maps, past question compilations, and mock answer frameworks to sharpen your preparation. Good luck and keep going.